Oh shit, here we go. Okay, so we left off with Veronica's parents getting Archie. And I've been trying to upload part 7 for an hour, so I'm just re-recording it, just so y'all know. And pretty much Veronica is pleading with her parents not to hurt Archie and not to drink his blood, but they're telling them, honey, we're not trying to drink nobody's blood. We're trying to turn all of Riverdale. Well, at least the people in Riverdale that we like. And clearly, as you see, her parents are under the spell of the head vampire, because that's when their eyes are red. So there's really no free will. And then coming up crashing the party is him. One of the MVPs, and he's like, let me introduce myself. Hiram's like, this is our dear friend Ivan, and he's the one who started all this bullshit. You know, he's doing what all those dumb cult leaders do. You can kill whoever you like. It's the life. Join your family. We're living the life of Riley. All that dumb shit. And they're like, you could kill Betty too, so you can have Archie to yourself. And Archie's like, hold on, honey. That's my other side bitch. You cannot kill motherfucking Betty. Honey, I need Betty and Veronica. What is a triangle without a side? Honey, it ain't nothing more than a parallel line. And Archie wants to know. He's like, okay, all this killing talk, vampire talk, what the fuck is going on? So now Veronica's like, honey, I gotta tell you, if you didn't understand by my parents abducting you. But before she could go into detail, a motherfucker come blasting into their house. Like, come throwing hands, blasting everybody back. Like, Dilton, this is his most badass moment. I'm like, okay, Dilton, come in there throwing stakes and daggers. But that guy is like, not today. And before he can attack Dilton came ready. This is what I mean when, you know, you don't come to a gunfight with a knife. Dilton came with a crucifix. Dilton said, honey, get thee behind me. I don't play with demons. And Veronica attacks him. She's like, get Archie out of here and I will catch up with you guys later. And she smashes in his face a vial of holy water. Because, you know, holy water and vampires, they don't mix. It's oil and water. So it's kind of like, it's like Trisha Paytas and Gabby Hanna. They just don't go. So while he's choking Veronica up, and I'm not going to show that because, you know, Tik Tok and they violence, they like to pick and choose who they want to take down. Archie gives him a small little poke in the heart. And when Archie pokes the guy in the heart from the back, but you know, you have to kill a vampire through the stake, through the heart, through the front. It's never through the back with other stuff. But honey, that's not this time for video. So everybody he's turned starts to come out of their daze for a quick sec. And Archie's like, this is our time to get away. And they jump into the car and they make their getaway. Now what they got to do is they got to come together. They got to find a safe space in Riverdale right now. And they got to plot on what they're going to do. The parents and the vampire wants to turn all of Riverdale. And where is Riverdale? Where is everybody in Riverdale going to be coming tonight? Cheryl's party. And that's the same party I showed y'all in the beginning in the first slide. So these vampires are like, honey, we already know where we got to go. So now, going back to where we started in the beginning, we're at the party. Now we're up to present day. We are at the party. And Betty's flirting with another redhead because everyone Betty has a top. And she got an unwanted cock block. They're like, hello, bitch, hello. And we are at the present. And we established that Betty has a type because she's flirting with another redhead. And I'm like, Betty, what is with you and these redheads? But she's just got cock blocked by some vampires. He's like, honey, not on my watch. And you know, Betty, sweet as apple pie. She's like, honey, I got pepper spray. Honey, he's like, honey, what I got you don't want, but I'm about to give it to you. And then next thing you know, he's getting his back cracked by the front end of a car. And then Veronica jumps out the car. Look at Archie, conniving, cheesing ass. Like, hey, Betty, I was just on a date with you last night. Now I'm with Veronica. Niggas ain't shit. But anyway, Veronica jumps out the car like, hello, Betty, I am Veronica Summers. That's a no to Buffy the Vampire Slayer because her name was Buffy Summers and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. If I gotta explain it, don't need to be said. And they fill Betty in, and of course, Betty's like, vampires? It's like, Betty, come on. Come on, Betty. We know you're the girl next door, but you don't have to do all the archetypes. But as they're explaining it to Betty, vampires and everything they've been through in these past 7 parts, they hear screaming in the park. And Archie's like, honey, we gotta jump into action. So Archie's handing everybody water guns filled with holy water. Cause you know that demonic shit, they can't play with that holy water. And then the freaks begin to come out at night. And they just start blasting them hoes. Now, see, this is the kind of gun violence I can get behind. Honey, why don't we just put the guns down and just fill them with holy water and just start blasting people in the face with holy water? Maybe that'll fix the world. I just think I came up with world peace. And as you see, when these super soakers filled with holy water hits these vampires' face, it gives them what I like to call a spiritual chemical pill. And now we fast forward to when Veronica was walking out of the pool after she defeated those 2 vampires that slammed her in the pool in the first part. And then Cheryl's trying to snap on her like, Veronica, I know you are not trying to ruin my party. You are not the only popular rich girl who can throw a party. You're always trying to be the center of attention. And then Veronica's like, excuse me, Miss Body Shots. And these hoes start arguing why they're in a vampire apocalypse and the vampires are circling. And then Reggie steps out. He's like, ladies, calm down. And Veronica's shocked. She's like, Reggie, you survived. Because remember the last time Veronica sees them when she left Reggie for dead after she hit him. I know Reggie's a dick, but damn, girl, you did a whole hit and run on his ass. And Reggie's ready to throw down because, you know, since they're both supernatural, that girl versus boy goes out the window. It's just beast versus beast now. But Veronica's like, honey, not today, honey. And she just cracks his ass. And then Dilton comes running up because he got an idea. Because, you know, he's always the man with the plan. But meanwhile, Jughead's old hungry ass is eating some garlic pasta and shit like that. And a vampire comes up behind. And the vampire's like, hello, somebody. But Jughead, with his motherfucking hot ham and halitosis, breathes in the vampire's face. And you know, vampires don't like garlic, so it just takes him out. And with that discovery, you know, Jughead ass think he just won Top Chef. He's like, honey, this hot breath is gonna burn all these hoes away. Until he bumps into a bigger one. Now, after Jughead used his halitosis breath to defeat that vampire, he bumps into a bigger one. However, before he can attack, he gets blasted in the face with holy water. And they throw his bitch ass out the window. As you should. Cause let's be real, Jughead was about to get his ass whooped. But see, Betty's so busy spraying everybody down, she's like, Dilton, I need some more holy water. But meanwhile, Dilton, he doesn't need to get ready because he stays ready. And as the vampires begin to close in, Veronica's parents and that ringleader vampire shows up and grabs Betty, and they give Veronica an ultimatum. Either you change or we kill Betty. And honestly, if they kill Betty, you gonna get Archie, but honey, do you really want to get Archie that way? And Veronica's like, fine, you win. You've been around this long, you should know a trap or somebody lying to you, especially with those vampire powers. And he's just sitting there like, that easy, eh? And Veronica's like, yup, but you have to let Betty go right now. And he takes Veronica by the hand, and it's time to go down the path of darkness. But meanwhile, remember how I said Dilton always got a plan? He's filling up the pool with holy water. Because we've seen what happens to a vampire when they get hit with holy water out of a water gun. Now imagine a vampire getting his big ass into a pool full of holy water, but like an acid jacuzzi. And the guy crashes into the pool backward. After Veronica, as she always, gives him them ooh-wop-de-woos, and he just begins to have a deep, deep chemical pill until he is no more than bone. And that's all for him. However, Veronica's like, I don't feel any different. If he's the head, why isn't the curses lifting? And then Veronica realized, honey, there's somebody above him that's been working from the shaft. Veronica begins to have a flashback of, remember when she first went to her parents' house and she saw that coffin with the dragon insignia or symbol on the front of it? She was like, the Order of the Dragon. So the head ringleader was in there that whole time. You was that close to him. You could have just popped and he would have been dead. But you just went in a circle for this. So now she got to go back to her house. You know, that's so annoying because that's like equivalent to like, you know, when your parents send you to the store during the holidays to get something for a meal. And then as you're coming back, they're like, oh, are you still at the store? Could you get this? It's like, no. Tell me everything you need at once because I'm not making all these trips. Sorry, side note and tangent. So Veronica tells Dilton, hold everybody off here while I do the last battle. And Dilton's like, since we're surrounded at this party by vampires, everybody who's still mortal jump into the pool full of holy water and the vampires can't get in. Part 10 and the final. Well, I'm going to try to make this the final because you know I'm long-winded as hell. Veronica is back at her mansion where it all began. And everything is darker than usual as she enters in. And the words come back. And then she's like all shocked that the door slammed by itself behind us. Like, girl, you're dealing with vampires. Telekinesis is the least of your issues. Meanwhile, look at them. The surviving mortals, they're all huddled up in the pool with the holy water in it to keep the vampires at bay. But honey, they are just waiting for their moment to pounce. Meanwhile, as Veronica's going through her many halls, she is attacked by a tarantula. But remember, vampires are sneaky bastards. They're not your normal type of villains, so they can give you grand illusions and like fits of madness to make you think you're seeing something when really you ain't seeing shit. And that's exactly what's happening to Veronica right now. Because when she tries to attack this beast, as soon as she goes to smash, nothing is there, which is why, ladies and gentlemen, our mind is our most dangerous and powerful muscle we will ever have. And Veronica, of course, she's yelling out, I'm still coming for you. Well, girl, come for him and get it all over with, because your friends are waiting. And sad enough, the friends, Archie, Dilton, Betty, Cheryl, Jughead, they're all in a pool, surrounded by the vampires. And this is kind of like a National Geographic special. You know when you see the prey in the middle sitting somewhere, but they don't realize they're being stalked by like a lion or something. They're about to be attacked. And Dilton's like, I don't know what to tell you. What do we do next? We wait. And Jughead's like, I'm finna have some fun. Jughead's filling up the water guns, and he's squirting them hoes. But then Veronica's dad is like, honey, fuck this playing shit. Drain the pool. Meanwhile, back at the mansion, Veronica's going to another level of the mansion, and she sees a door that has a light in it. So she peeks through the peephole and sees her. And she's like, but my dad was just at the, oh, words come back to me. Hello, somebody. He was just at the pool party. And then, so she's looking at him now, but she doesn't realize vampires are good with that manipulation. So he's just fucking with her mind, like most men do. But she's startled because at the end of the hall, Archie's like, honey, sticking your nose where it doesn't belong again, Veronica. And the door busts open. Ooh, how did that stroke taste? And the door busts open. And then Archie and Veronica's dad are standing before her, and they're like, Veronica, you are too dumb to see that this was a trap. And she's like, a trap? What? And she feels so betrayed by the two men she loves most, Archie and her dad, even though these are just figments of her imagination. And Veronica's dad pays Archie like, thank you for leading my daughter on, just to like break her heart even more. And Archie's like, about time, I was about to raise my price. And then Veronica's like, I don't understand. What do you mean raise your price? Was this all a joke of you liking me and you were in cahoots with my dad? And she's like, please, daddy, tell me this isn't true. Ooh, I hate the word daddy. And then, you know, Archie bitch ass is like, oh, here come the waterworks. But then Veronica's like, I gotta snap out of it because I am a rich-ass bad bitch. And she remembers that this is just a figment of her imagination. She's like, please, I'm the best thing to happen to either one of you bitches. Now to the vampire. Part 11 and the finale of the VAMPIRONICA series. So once Veronica realized everything is just a figment of her imagination and this isn't her real father or dad, she's like, honey, I'm the best thing that ever happened to you hoes. And now she has to go kill the head vampire so the curse will be lifted off of everybody in Riverdale. And then, of course, like she didn't just realize it from the last time, she ends up falling for another hallucination by the head vampire, and she sees Betty and Archie getting married, and she's like, no, get it out of my head. It's like, girl, at this point, you know the whole house is an illusion. This vampire is fucking playing with your mind. So Veronica attacks the hallucination that is Betty, who aka is the bride of Archie in this scenario, and she starts attacking her, and then she realized, honey, I'm hallucinating again. Well, what gave it away? The first two scenarios? And she's like, and she says to him sarcastically, good one. Well, clearly it was a good one because you fell for it 3 times. And you know what they say, 3 strikes you out. So now, meanwhile, at the party, remember Hiram was like, drain the pool because they put holy water in the pool to protect the people who are still mortal. And they're just all like, Veronica, hurry the fuck up, bitch. So Veronica's like, no more games. Bitch, it's about time. And she goes down to the basement where, remember, she saw that insignia that had the dragon logo. And she opens it up, and guess what she sees? Don't you hate when they try to do a metaphorical teaching moment where, like, we are our own worst enemy? That bullshit. And Veronica's like, you know how I know you're not the real me? And then the bitch wakes up and starts hissing. And Veronica's like, cause I wouldn't be caught dead in that motherfucking Shein knockoff. She didn't say all that, but I'm reading between the lines, people. That's what y'all love me for. And she sticks the dagger right in the heart. Of course, I'm covering up because y'all know how TikTok be fucking with me. And he comes back to his true form, and the curse is lifted. Now, everybody back at the party who was about to attack all they ass in the pool, they're like, what's going on? They feel like they just came out of one of those naps that leave the imprintations on your face. One of those type naps. They're like dazed and confused. And Dilton's like, Veronica, she did it. But honestly, let's give Dilton his flowers. And this one is like, oh, I feel hungover. I bet you do after all that blood. Shit, high blood pressure for everybody. So then Archie and Betty pretty much gives Veronica's parents a recap on all the chaos that they caused and all the trouble that's been happening, kind of like what I'm doing now. And Hiram, of course, he's happy to see Veronica, and they're just a happy family again. But honestly, let's call out Hiram, because if you didn't get with these unsavory-ass characters, none of this would have happened to begin with. Hello, somebody. And having a new appreciation for Dilton and finally giving him his flower, because if it wasn't for him, Veronica, you'd be up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. Honey, she's like, whenever you need something for your lab, charge it to the lodge account. And then they all walk off into the sunset and go to Pops. And then it says, the end. Question.